Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Richard, founder of Short-Term Rental University and Airbnb Superhost. Today's video is the future of pricing on short-term rentals and Airbnb. So in order to set the stage for this, let's talk about where we are currently in today's pricing. I, for one, feel like I've had a lot of pricing power. I'm able to adjust the price of my listings all across the country to basically meet demand, and I use dynamic pricing, so I'm constantly optimizing and maximizing my profitability. And sometimes I adjust it up and sometimes I adjust it down, but largely I feel like I still have pricing power. I'm in control of the dynamic, me as a host, more than the guest is setting the price. But over time, that balance is going to shift. It's likely going to be a neutral middle ground where it clears the market. And then it might even shift to the place where the guest has pricing power. Like they'll say, I won't pay more than X for a 2-bedroom. And then hosts may have to bring our prices down. But I want to prepare everybody to start to think about risk management and saying, well, what if that isn't the case? What if in 5 years we get to that neutral ground and 5 years after that, the guest becomes the pricing authority? So to be clear, this pricing dynamic and the shifting of pricing dynamics happens in all industries as they mature. It's not unique to the short-term rental market. And so I'm basically just talking about business in general and what happens to a maturing industry. In the very early stages, the early adopters take advantage of the opportunity, they take the bigger risk, they get the bigger reward. And then as more and more people pile into the trade and it eventually becomes a crowded trade, people get to the party a little bit late, there's not as much left over, they're willing to accept more modest returns, and they may actually have more risk than they realize as they follow the crowd in and they're late. So I want to use an example that I think we can all relate to. Let's talk about mattresses. As far as I know, 20 years ago, mattresses were owned and dominated by Sealy and Simmons and Serta, and they sold them in boxes in retail stores. And then a company, I think the first to market, was called Casper. They created this new technology, they rolled up the mattress and put it in a box and they shipped it to you. And that sort of disrupted the traditional standalone retail model because now it could come in the mail and at a much cheaper price and equally high quality. And so those people that ran those businesses didn't see that coming. They were perhaps ill-prepared. If you think about it, they should have been the ones that disrupted themselves, but that never happens, right? The legacy, the incumbent people are always disrupted by somebody from the outside. And so Casper did that. And so their pricing power went down. Casper probably had a new pricing power and had nice fat margins, and they owned that market for a period of time. But then more people came into it and said, I can make a better mattress for cheaper than Casper and I can make less margin and so on. And now there's 10 different companies that you can buy a mattress from in the box. So the entire space has been flooded by more money and more institutional money coming in, trying to take advantage of this great idea, this new opportunity set. But basically what they've done is they've driven their profitability and their pricing power and their margins down. So just think about that in terms of short-term rentals. Where are you able to price your place now? Do you feel like you have pricing power? And if you do, take as much control of that as you can right now, make as much profit as you possibly can right now, save as much money of that as you possibly can right now, either to buy more Airbnbs or to invest in stocks or bonds or other asset classes. But just realize that everything goes through this cycle, things shift. So whatever you see today isn't going to be the same 20 years from now. I guarantee you it's not. But we're in the pricing power point right now where we can continue to command a premium. We should be as profitable as we possibly can be. We should be as diligent and save as much as we possibly can be. We should grow as quickly as we can, but also have that future in mind where it's at some point we're going to exit, or we're going to slow down, or we're going to sell this, or we're going to convert it to a long-term rental. Start thinking about some of these dynamics years before you need to, so that when it actually gets there, you recognize it faster and you move faster and you get out faster. And I'm going to be here monitoring as much as possible with my finger on the pulse, trying to tell you what I see, and that's the point of this video. I'm telling you right now, we still have pricing power, and as soon as I start to see that dynamic shift, I'll let you know. One thing to keep in mind, right now Airbnb is still slightly below on average versus hotels. And that's sort of where I think we need to live, unless you're providing something exceptional that hotels don't provide. But if and when the pricing power gets to be such that I could stay at the Ritz-Carlton where we're filming right now for less money than an Airbnb, I think we've gone too far and you'll start to see prices come down quickly. So keep an eye on where we are relative to the hotel pricing power. because that's a good indication for the amount of room that we have to price up or stall or even down. I hope you found this video helpful. I'd love to hear your comments below. Where do you think you've got pricing power? Comments below. Please like the video, and I'd really appreciate if you go ahead and subscribe. Thanks, friends.